What's up, y'all? It's your boy Spuddy Studios here today. I am back with my lovely lady, and we are here to check out the Marvel's Wolverine story trailer. So, I've been keeping up with, obviously, Wolverine news as the game has been progressing. I've been telling my lovely lady about everything about this game. How are you feeling about the game so far?
I like bloody.
Yeah, that's true. I love that we are getting a Wolverine game, obviously focused on Wolverine in the same sense as Spider-Man. One of the biggest things that I loved about the Insomniac games is how big an influence they are. Like, even the new Spider-Man movie that's coming out in 2 weeks has a lot of influences and references from the game and the movie. And I think it was good for people who only knew most about Spider-Man from the movies. It gave people more of a insight on the character from the comics versus than what the movies do or adapt or whatever the case may be. So I really liked that the Spider-Man game gave more people insight into these characters, even if they were slight deviations, but nothing too major. With this, I expect the same thing. There will be some slight deviations, but nothing too major, except like one or two things that I'm aware of. One thing that I know, which is not a spoiler, is that the X-Men don't exist in this universe. Mm-hmm. So Wolverine, Jean Grey are already established at this point, except Jean Grey, and this is much older, as she normally would be. And I think the second spoiler for that is, not really spoiler, is that Wolverine and Jean Grey will have a full-fledged possible relationship in this, which I know most people don't like, which is fair. I don't like it either, for being honest. I don't like it simply just because, with me, it's always been Cyclops and Jean, and it just feels like Wolverine just kind of comes in and just fucks with their relationship. Plus, Jean and Scott have a kid together. Like Cable, who is Josh Brolin's character in Deadpool 2, that is their son. So it's just kind of weird that Wolverine just kind of comes in and is just like, yeah, this is my girl now. Like, you're not married to this person. And it also kind of just makes Jean look like a homewrecker. Like, she just wants to fuck around. That's not her character. But, like, I get it. Like, it's just, Wolverine being Wolverine, he kind of just really doesn't care about most things. But it's just like... And then it's just gotten to a point where it's just like, the whole three-way relationship thing is just kind of weird at this point. It just feels like it's because they can't give Wolverine any other love interest, and every time they do, they always kill them off. And I get it, it's to showcase that Wolverine is an immortal loner, but it's like, he could be with anyone else. Half the time he's with Storm sometimes. Even though that's another relationship I'm not fully on board with. But hell, I like it more than him with Jean at least. So it's just, I don't know. So I guess we'll see. I'm only okay with it in this regard because the X-Men don't exist. These characters are much older than at least Jean is much older than she normally probably would be. And even if the X-Men eventually get introduced, Jean and Wolverine could just split and she just goes to date Scott. So that could happen. I mean, who knows? If that leads into them making an X-Men game, that would be interesting because I'm curious how they would do that. But I do like how dark and gritty and bloody this game is. That was one of my things I needed for a Wolverine game. It's Wolverine. Like, you can't really do a Wolverine game PG-13. It's not going to work. So I'm glad that this game will definitely have a lot of brutality in it. I'm just curious how far they're going to go. Since it's M-rated, I'm sure they'll go pretty far. But I'm also excited just because we finally get a good Wolverine game, hopefully. So without further ado, let's just see what the story is. Okay, how to do this stupid previews at the beginning.
Logan! It's me! Wait!
You came back. I've seen things before.
Humans and mutants can't survive together.
I've tried to keep them safe for so long.
Fucking friends.
Inside! Now!
I thought you were back. We were back. We're gonna build a future for mutants. That is why you belong here.
Nice!
Tear the beast. The hunt is ready.
Most people I see clearly. But you.
Oh my god!
Just give in!
Remember who you are.
Oh my god!
Just can't let a man rest in peace, can you?
Huh.
PlayStation.
I felt like that was a story trailer that didn't give me too much story. Funny enough, that's what that felt like. It gave us a good amount, but not too much. Okay, so yeah, it's obviously clear that Wolverine and Jean are together in this. Which I think is fine, because, yeah, this Jean is much older than she normally would be. I would say she's as old as Jean was in the first 3 X-Men movies, where they're just, like, much older at that point. I think it'll be interesting to see that. And based on Wolverine's eyes, they're really leaning into the animalistic side of his character. What's it called? Berserker Rage, where essentially, like the Hulk, when Wolverine gets too angry, he goes into Berserker Rage mode, where he just kills everything in sight, essentially, until he, like, calms down. So I think they're leaning into that, which I actually like. Because I feel like we don't see Berserker Rage too much in most Wolverine media. Like, you sort of see it, but it's not, like specifically emphasized. Like same thing, one of the issues I had with, like, Spider-Man movies, up until, like, Andrew Garfield's films, and even now Tom's films, is that whenever he has the spider sense, they don't emphasize it so much. Like, they don't make it, like, a sound effect for it to emphasize that he's using the spider sense. In Tom's and Andrew's, they emphasized it a lot more, which is why I liked it so much. In this, I like the same thing with the Berserker Rage. Like, with the Wolverine movies, even Hugh Jackman's, we've seen his Berserker Rage, but it's never, like, emphasized when they show it. It's just, like, it's just implied. Like, you just imply, okay, he's just angry, he's just cutting everything in sight, really. In this, they're actually emphasizing the Berserker Rage aspect of his character, and I like that. One of the biggest things I know people were complaining about, when there was a picture that was revealed at Comic-Con yesterday that showed Logan's face, and one of the things that people were complaining about was the eyebrows. They said that they weren't bushy enough, so it just looked like his face was fully naked. Clearly, that was just a lighting issue, because in, like, most of these, his eyebrows are fine. So that was clearly just a lighting issue for that picture. That's probably just the wrong picture to show, but yeah, Wolverine looks fine. I don't know who this is. Hold on. I think, yeah, but we saw that character later on in the trailer. Trask Industries. Okay. So, Boulevard Trask, if you remember the last X-Men movie I showed you, which was Days of Futures Past, if I'm correct? Was that the last one we watched?
That one we were fighting on the beach?
No, that was First Class. That was before Days of Futures Past. Days of Futures Past is when the rebooted cast and the older cast came together, and they went back in time to stop Mystique from killing a dude from creating robots. I guess you didn't see that one.
No, but isn't that, like, one of the better ones?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That was, like, arguably the best one.
Because I think my mom, and, like, I remember being in the room when, wait, that one, like, dude, like, one of the speedsters, he was, like...
Yeah, that was the first time Quicksilver was showcased. Yeah.
That I have seen.
Okay, so Trask was the guy who created those Sentinel big robots that were made to hunt mutants. Mm-hmm. And the difference, obviously, is that it was able to scan for mutant DNA. But he was able to advance it to the point where the robots were able to detect mutant DNA in humans. Mm-hmm. So if humans procreated and had mutant children, because I believe how they explained it is the mutant gene is passed through males, not women. Mm-hmm. So, but obviously we would not know that the mutant gene would be passed until our kids have powers. Mm-hmm. So we wouldn't know. So even if the human doesn't have mutant powers themselves, they can give their kids mutant genes, and then their kids would have mutant genes more than likely, if not the same powers, most likely. So yeah, in this case, Wolverine's parents didn't have powers, and he did. So that's usually how that went. But yeah, like, Trask is the guy who created the Sentinel robots, so I guess that's who's supplying this robotic militia that he has. So that's pretty cool. This, I guess we're going to see a lot of psychological, mental hypnosis stuff, I guess.
I think more like hallucination.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if this is like Gene going into his mind or if someone else is doing this. I want to listen to some of this dialogue.
Before.
But yeah, he looks great. I like the look of, like, because I know you're probably used to like Hugh Jackman mostly when you think of Wolverine. For me, I'm used to that because that was the first Wolverine I grew attached to, and then I saw him in the comic books and everything. And I know the biggest point. Sorry.
I don't think I told you this, and you're gonna hate me so much. It wasn't until, cause listen, you know, I'd not watched a lot of the X-Men movies or anything like that.
Sure.
I had no idea that Hugh Jackman was even Wolverine, like, at all, until I watched, like, what's that tattoo show I watched?
Tattoo Master?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until it came on the first episode,
Really?
I was like, that's him.
Really? You didn't know that?
Because when I think Hugh Jackman, I think of The Greatest Showman.
Oh, that is fair.
I know the musical version of Hugh Jackman. I nowhere near
that's fair.
this shit until he showed up, until they came to the episode, and I was like, oh, my mom was ready to disown me, and I was like, well,
that's fair. Because I've seen The Great Showman. I think it's really good. It's been years since I've seen it, so I probably have to rewatch that one day. But I know he does musicals because I know that they make references to it, and Deadpool himself in the newest movie made fun of it. And he's good. He's a good singer. Like so it makes sense. But it's just it's hard for me to see it because I'm just so used to you yelling all the time.
So instead of my singing the opposite direction, like deadass, I watched the Logan movie.
Granted, he doesn't even look like himself normally,
Let's
so that's
put it
fair.
this way: when I watched Logan movie, I didn't realize that was Wolverine's actual name. I thought that was the girl's name.
What?
I thought that was her
Really?
Name. I thought that was her name.
They say his name like multiple times in the movie.
I remember falling asleep.
Girl, come on. That's one of the best ones. Come on.
I remember being good. I remember Charles just pissed me off during the movie. I was like, please shut up.
She's
Like,
just old and going through dementia.
I know. Charles just annoying the fuck out of me.
That's
and to keep in mind, though, I think I was like in 8th grade when I watched it, okay? So, like, I remember...
Was it that long ago?
It was that long ago.
Because it came out in 2017. I was 16 when that movie came out. And I believe I was in... If I was 16, that would have been, what, sophomore? Junior?
Sophomore to junior year.
Yeah.
Which means I would have been either, 8th grade to freshman year. So...
It's kind of crazy to think about. But...
So...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, like, I remember, like, being half awake on it, and the only thing I remember from the movie was, like, I like the name Logan for a girl. That's the one that stuck for me.
Interesting.
That's it. That's the only one that stuck for me. So I was like, yeah, Logan. The girl. That's her name.
No. Not her name at all.
Not a clue.
Because her name is Laura, but I mean, it's close enough.
Not a clue. I was like, yeah, Logan. And that one. And Charles.
That's funny. But yeah, I know when you think of Logan, you mostly Wolverine. You mostly think of Hugh Jackman. How are you feeling about this new guy? Because to me, he looks like Wolverine from the comic books, like perfectly, like from the hairy, damn near hairy shoulders to like he is a hairy man, and obviously it's Hugh Jackman. They make him shave and obviously make him show like so much veinage throughout his body and stuff. But yeah, Wolverine in the comics is he's a wolf man, so it makes sense. But I like that they emphasized that with this game, even to the overly egregious hairy sideburns. Like even Hugh Jackman's sideburns are more like natural, like they're more natural and realistic, whereas his are more comic booky and expressive. Like even his hair is slightly accurate to how like the latest Wolverine's hair was. So I think that's pretty cool. But like, how are you feeling with the look of this Wolverine? Like even just without the costume and obviously with the costume.
Because I didn't realize that it was Hugh Jackman the whole time I've been watching the movies. I'm okay with this. However, looking at this, I keep being reminded of Deadpool and Wolverine when they showed the comic book, when they showed the short version of him. And I was like, that's what I'm seeing here. Just short king. That's all I'm seeing here. It's just short man.
Yeah, and they definitely, I think they say he's 5'3" in this, which is comic book accurate. To me, that is the one contention I will fight people on. To me, I don't think Wolverine should be 5'3". You can shit on me in the comments all you want, because I grew up with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine being tall and imposing. Him being short is just...
He could just be like he could be as tall as I am. I'm 5'6".
Sure.
No, I'm 5'7".
Yeah,
but,
I just think like
he'd still be short for a man, but he won't be like shorter than me. Where I'd be like, oh hi. You know,
like to me, I understand why people say he should be short, because it gives off that sense of like unpredictability. Like, you don't think this short 5'3" dude can cut you to pieces and everything, and then he just pops out 3 long ass indestructible knives out of his hands. And I get that, but it just like it makes him less intimidating if he's like 5'3". And that's fucked up to say to people who were 5'3". I'm sorry, but it just seems that way to me at least.
It's gonna make it so much worse for you. Kaylin is 5'3". So imagine that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that's
it's and she's a short lady.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I get it. I get it. It's a comic book thing. It's fair. I'm okay with it in the comics because most times I don't even notice it. But like even in X-Men '97, the new X-Men show that's going on, Wolverine is that size, and I honestly don't even notice it half the time. So it's just, and I know I've seen several people that are like, "Oh my God, Wolverine is so much shorter in this," and it's like, yeah, because he's 5'3", he's a short king. So it's just, I don't know. I that's the one contention I will fight people on. I don't think he should be 5'3". I think him being
like 6 foot.
Yes, I think at least being 6 foot is fine.
5'11".
Like, because I think Hugh Jackman's like 6'2", 6'3", I think. So I think being that size is fine. He's tall, he's big, he's imposing, he's scary. Him being 5'3", it just loses that intimidation factor for me. And like I said, that's fucked up to say to people who's 5'3". I apologize, but it's just.
Go off, short kings.
But it's just for weird. This character, it just doesn't work for me personally. But that's all I will say about it. But all in all, I like his look. Obviously, this is the actor who's playing him and voicing him, playing this character. Unlike with Spider-Man, it was a face model who was a different guy who played the face model and the other guy who did the voice. So it was 2 different people technically playing Spider-Man until they face swap casted the Spider-Man in Miles Morales, and then it was a whole different face, which I know a lot of people to this day still hate. Which
I didn't even notice.
I noticed it because they made a whole trailer about it first. Because when the Miles Morales game was coming out, I didn't notice it at all because it was the same voice from the first game, so I didn't even notice. But then they released a trailer where they remastered the game, and it was a whole different face. And I was like, wait a second, what? Why does he look like Tom Holland? And it just really bugged me because I didn't like the previous face, to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I didn't like the previous face because he looked like he was 30 cosplaying as a 20-year-old. And that just bugged me.
He had a rough 20.
No, Grant, that's totally fair. He had been Spider-Man for what, like 8 years at that point? So that's totally fair. But he just looked too old to me. And that was just my issue. But he looked realistically how Spider-Man would probably look. So that's why it didn't bother me too much and I settled in. Then you just changed it so randomly and then you announced it in a video cutscene showing a whole different face model. And I'm like, what? And then they confirmed that they said the reason they changed it was because when they did that face model originally, when the voice of Spider-Man plays him in like most of the cutscenes, they had to model the other person's face onto the actor's voicing face. So when they did, because their faces were so different, it was hard for them to model the face, so sometimes they would mess it up in concept. I didn't notice it in the game because they probably polished it really well. But even still, it just took them a long time to polish it, so that was why they said they had to redo it, because they didn't want to go through all that work for the next however so many games they were going to make. So that's why they had Ben Jordan, who's the new guy, who does the face in like the new game and moving forward. I know people hate it because they grew attached to that first one, and that's fair. But to me, I didn't think he looked like Tom Holland. He looked like Tom Holland just because Tom Holland was currently Spider-Man. But then I'm like, if anything, he just looked like an older Ben 10, which is funny because the actor who plays Spider-Man played teenage Ben 10 in Alien Force. So that's just what he looked like to me. And, I mean, it's just one of those things. He looked better in Spider-Man 2, in my opinion. But I get it. It's just one thing people are attached to. But I like Wolverine's look, like, a lot. But, because they showed most of him, like, without the mask on. But I like his look a lot.
I've seen things from before.
Humans and mutants can't survive together.
Okay, I believe that's Trask then saying that. Mutants and humans. Dear God. Oh. That's a bunch of dead mutants. What are you laughing about now? Don't move to a different scene.
Don't talk about me.
It is what it is. But
You know how I get.
But I recognize some of these mutants. These are the Morlocks from X-Men, the animated series in '97. That's Leech, who is like the most innocent mutant you will ever find, and they're treating him like garbage. Screw this guy. And then I believe this is Wolverine in his his Team X uniform, where they said in this game, yeah, essentially that's sort of what it is. If I'm correct, Team X is essentially just a small little mutant team that goes around protecting mutants from human beings. Is essentially what the team is, and it consists of Wolverine, Jean Grey, Sabretooth, and Mystique, as far as I'm aware. Which is a crazy weird team, honestly. But yeah, Sabretooth,
I know who that is. I'm just questioning the.
Yeah. I'm curious too, because it's like Sabretooth doesn't really care for anybody, regardless if they're human or mutants.
I could definitely see Mystique, because I think of her like.
Because Mystique is usually evil, but most times she still fights.
What the Catwoman situation?
Oh yeah, like she's definitely like
Black
that.
Cat.
Yeah, she's definitely like that. Like she's technically an anti-villain.
Yes.
Like, you know how anti-heroes are heroes that kill people. Mm-hmm. She's a villain that will sometimes do good things. Mm-hmm. So she even if she doesn't like the X-Men or some mutants getting in her way, she will still protect mutants over humans any day. But Sabretooth is the one I'm questioning the most, because it's like Sabretooth is just there to kill people. Mm-hmm. He doesn't really care about protecting the innocent, especially because he's just there to fuck with Wolverine. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious about his stake on the team. I think we got to see a couple glimpses of him in this, actually.
Yes.
So I'm curious about his stake in this. That's cool. Seeing Jean and Wolverine, I guess, protecting the mutants. Does Jean not have a costume? I guess she doesn't. I think she would have a...
I don't think yet.
Because, like, Wolverine has one, and I think Sabretooth and Mystique had one. But she's the only one of Team X that doesn't seem to have a costume at all. But, okay. This is pretty cool. Let's see. Wait, that mutant had elk ears. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Pretty cool. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I do like how brutal this is.
Fucking brats.
Inside, now!
I thought you were back.
Oh. That is arguably Sabretooth's best look, like, ever. Like, I really like that look. It looks very much like this, but slightly Sabretooth coated. I really like that. I think, because I know this brown suit is in the game. Because, you know, most people like the brown suit over the blue suit. I personally prefer the blue suit, but this fits him more as a character. But I like it in this game because it's not blue, actually. It's black. So it's yellow and black, which I think fits him better, while still keeping the yellow look. But I really like this Sabretooth look, honestly. With the coat too, that's awesome. I really like that look. And I'm assuming this is them fighting in one of the locations they said we were traveling to. I'm surprised how many like unmasked Wolverine costume looks we're seeing. I didn't think we'd see that many. Cause like even with like, but then again, Wolverine doesn't have necessarily a secret identity. He just likes wearing a costume.
I thought you were back. We were back.
He looks really good. He looks really good. Like, this is comic book Sabretooth, like, period. This is literally what he looks like. Which is... Because it was funny, because, like, the original actor who played Sabretooth in the first movie, if you remember that movie, when Sabretooth was in that one, he was in that movie, and it was and he was Sabretooth, like, perfectly. Problem is, he just doesn't have that much dialogue in it. He just yells like a lion in that movie. And then he's killed, technically, in it. But the problem is that he shouldn't be dead because he has immortality just like Wolverine. But because it's a movie, they had to kill him in some way. And so they did that. And then in X-Men Origins, they made them brothers. Which I understood.
That one I did remember.
Yeah, which I understood why they did that, because they both were very similar. They both have a very similar backstory. They have similar powers, except his is just fingernails rather than his being bone claws that are now metal coated. But I understood why they made them brothers. I just thought it was I think they should have did something more with it. That was the problem I had with it. It's like, okay, you made them brothers. And then that's it. Like, you didn't really do anything else with it. Hell, most people didn't even know that was the same character from the first X-Men movie. Because they look nothing alike. So it was just one of those things where... Because the actor who played Sabretooth, I'll give that movie some credit. Because it's a terrible movie. But Sabretooth in that movie was the best Sabretooth. Period. He was the best actor, the best choice to play that character. Had he been cast in the first movie, he would have been a better Sabretooth. Problem is that he doesn't visually look like this character. And because of that, it just didn't... Most people just didn't even realize that was the same person. So it was just... It confused people. And I think that was the issue with that. Because it's like, okay, Wolverine has a brother. Why was he never mentioned in anything else? It's like, oh no, that's actually him right there. Why does he have long hair and he's blonde? It's just weird, but that's how it
We're gonna build the future.
Okay, that guy. That's Troy Baker. It's just straight up Troy Baker. They're not even hiding it. That's just Troy Baker with a beard. It's kind of funny. I'm wondering who he's supposed to be playing. They don't say whoever his name is in this. But, you know, they gotta put Troy Baker in every video game. He's a great actor. But yeah, I'm curious who he's gonna play, because we saw him in another scene. I guess similar to this one, but...
We're gonna build the future. For mutants.
This one.
That is why you belong here. You. That is...
Him? Yeah. No, that's still Troy Baker, because of the voice. I recognize his voice anywhere. It's just he has a beard. But I'm curious about this.
They look a little blue.
Yeah, I can see that. But it looks like I guess they took all those mutants. They're hiding in the Canadian wilderness from it, what it seems. I wonder if because I know they say this is going to be essentially Wolverine's origin story. So for people who don't know much about Wolverine's origin story, we will see that in this game, which I'm glad, because X-Men Origins Wolverine was not a good depiction of his origin story. So except the war stuff. The war stuff was really good. But I like
that is why you belong here.
That's awesome. Now the ninjas that we're seeing here, the ones that Spider-Man's going to fight in his new movie too. So I like that we're going to see them. That, if you remember, the woman with the long finger nails in the second X-Men movie, it's the same character. But she had the adamantium claws, but in her fingers. If you remember that.
So I remember there being other people.
Yeah. But in the second movie, which is another one of the best ones, it was focused on Wolverine discovering his origins, and we found out, you know, where he came from, how he got his claws, the guy who controlled him and everything. And we found out that he created another person with adamantium claws, except it was in her fingers rather than knuckle claws. And that was her, Lady Deathstrike. Now, in the comics, Lady Deathstrike and Wolverine actually used to date. And I guess at some point she dies and then turns into like some cybernetic assassin, essentially. And then she tries to get revenge on Wolverine for abandoning her and such, I think. I don't know too much about her backstory, but that's the gist of what I know. So they always have like a contentious back and forth. So it's cool to see her in this.
Tear the beast. The hunt is ready.
Most people I see clearly, but you...
So yeah, that is you wouldn't even know who this character is. That is Omega Red. As far as I remember, Omega Red was also on Team X with them. If I remember correctly, Omega Red was like a member of Team X that Wolverine kicked off the team. Funny enough, because he was the most brutal out of all of them, even compared to Sabretooth, apparently. Because you would think Sabretooth would be the most brutal one, but no. I guess it's because he's also not much of a team player, too. So he was kicked off of Team X, and then because he was so pissed at Wolverine kicking him off the team, turned himself into like a cybernetic Russian super soldier, essentially. And similar to like Red Guardian from Thunderbolts. I don't think you saw that movie yet.
Yes, I did.
You did? Okay. Yelena's dad. Essentially similar to him, okay. But his powers are different. He has these tentacle things that come out of his wrists.
So
It's
like
gross.
Doc Ock's the Jewish thing.
Sort of, except his tentacles absorb your life force.
Mm.
So yeah, if he touches you, he absorbs your life force. So he always tries to, touch Wolverine because he's immortal. So he's trying to steal his healing factor from him.
Just give in!
Remember who you are.
Now that's insane. I was actually surprised they're showing like adamantium skeleton and everything. That is awesome. This is probably gonna get me so demonetized, but that is an awesome visual, actually.
You are.
And I think that was just the other end thing we saw. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm really excited. Less than 2 months, you will be watching me play this maliciously, and I will probably force you to be on the channel and watch it with me. But what'd you think? As someone who basically knows much of nothing about Wolverine, what'd you think of the trailer? Am I obnoxious talking about it?
I mean, I never play a game.
Sure. But you will be watching me play,
it,
so that's fine.
Definitely. Because I watched all of, what was it? I watched all the Spider-Mans. I've watched, I'm much more into, more games like this anyway.
Yeah.
So play it? Hell no.
That's fair.
But I can definitely watch it. For sure.
I definitely think this will be a game for you to just sit there and watch me play. So that would be good for you.
You won't let me watch anybody else?
No. I will let you watch whatever I play through. Maybe I might let you watch one of your favorite YouTubers play it. Because then you're going to know the spoilers, and then it just defeats the purpose of you experiencing it with me.
Shit about Dispatch yet,
Yes, but then it won't be the same experience with me, though.
What do you mean?
Because are you gonna watch me play Dispatch when I eventually get to play that game?
Yes, probably.
Okay, fine. I will let you watch it then.
I'll just be in the background and be like, why? Why would you make that choice? Like,
he's just gonna judge my choices then?
yes, if you make the wrong one, I'll be like, nigga, why?
Fine, okay.
You already know how I feel about the whole romantic thing in Dispatch.
I
not
don't know.
up to HR.
I don't know anything about Dispatch. She's seen it. I
Because
eventually
there are
want to play it
dating
on the channel.
options, right?
Yeah,
in my opinion,
I know that.
as someone
All I know is that Dispatch is similar to like Telltale in terms of the choices. That's all I pretty
yes
much
and
know.
no.
Okay.
But in my opinion, he shouldn't be dating anybody. Why? Because that's an HR violation.
Girl, it's a video game.
It's an HR violation, and I was so happy to find out because the one who I watched played it. He didn't know there wasn't an option, that there wasn't an option to not date anybody. So then they just dated, and I was like, no. So then when I found out in the comments, I was like, thank God, because I.
My thing is, it's a video game. Who cares if it's an HR
I
violation?
care.
It's a video game.
HR violation.
Are you working in their company?
No,
Then
but
you have
as a
nothing to worry
company
about.
in itself, it's like, this is weird.
Sure.
Because then you're going to end up in another situation that you're going to see when you play the game.
Okay, fine. I guess we'll see. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed our reaction to Marvel's Wolverine. I will let you watch your favorite YouTubers play it.
I'll compromise with you,
Okay,
and I'll
fine.
only watch what
Okay.
you have played.
Okay, fair. That's fair. At least for this game. If it's a different game, I will let you watch.
No,
whatever.
yeah, because you made me. I just remembered you made me do this for the second Spider-Man game. Not the Miles one. Yes, you made me do that for the second one, but I couldn't watch it until you freaking played it.
I don't remember that.
I remember that just.
I guess fair.
That just
Fine.
came back. That just
Okay,
pissed me
fine.
off all over again.
Fine. With this game, I think it's fair. I will let you watch whatever for future games. Okay. I think that's fair.
No, because you're gonna be pissed anyway. Just...
Okay, fine. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed our reaction. If you guys did, let me know in the comments down below what your opinion of the story trailer was. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share, and hit the notifications so you guys know when we will post next. We're almost at 500 subscribers, so we would appreciate you guys helping us get to that milestone. And we will see y'all next time. Peace!